This is the story of Alina, a lazy, pathetic receptionist at the Eiffel counter who thought she landed the dream job, fixed hours, baby paperwork, and enough free evenings to waste her life doing whatever pathetic hobby she calls me time. Too bad life looked at her lazy little fantasy and said, "Nah, loser." Adventurers, the human embodiment of missed deadlines and useless idiots, rolled in late from quests like they were allergic to clocks, chaining her to that desk past closing. Things only got worse when a Hellflame dragon showed up as the dungeon boss. Not a single pathetic adventurer could defeat it, and the unfinished quest piled even more pressure on Alina. She finally snaps and waddles into the dungeon dressed as the executioner, basically Batman if Bruce Wayne had no money, no trauma budget, and bought his cape from a clearance bin like an idiot. She swings a hammer so unnecessarily massive it looked like she ordered it out of pure spite, and turns the Hellflame dragon into a pile of regrets. She thinks she's earned freedom from overtime, but reality dropkicks her like the cruel piece of trash it is. An adventurer named Gans retires, and now the guild is out hunting for the mysterious executioner to fill the spot in the Silver Sword. Panic sets in, because if anyone finds out she's rocking a bootleg adventurer license like a fraud, her cushy job is gone. Jade, the leader of Silver Sword, quickly realizes who she is. He gives her the dragon's relic, a crystal said to hold a skill from the ancient Dia gods. Relics are known to be unbreakable, yet she crushes it with ease like it's made by cheap idiots. She warns Jade not to disturb her peaceful work life or her ability to go home on time. Joining his team is not an option for her, and she makes it clear that her identity must stay hidden. Jade refuses to give up on recruiting her. Alina hopes for a quiet evening, but her peace is disturbed when a wannabe tough guy loser adventurer starts bullying her apprentice, Layla, a perfect recipe for overtime, which is basically her personal hell. Loser, Slay, demands access to the guild's secret quests and continues to harass Alina like the annoying, brain-dead idiot he is. Jade becomes angry, and he throws the useless, loudmouth clown out of the guild hall. He then tells Alina that her oversized hammer is actually a Dia skill, a gift from a god. She stays silent, but her thoughts drift back 2 years, the day she missed Eiffels Centennial Festival because she was stuck doing overtime. Anger toward the guild, lazy useless adventurers, and the constant parade of boss monsters built up until she prayed for the power to avoid overtime forever. The gods apparently took pity on her work-life balance and dropped the hammer straight into her life. Meanwhile, Slay, powered by pure pathetic crybaby loser energy, reactivates a captured boss monster, the clay golem, because apparently ruining other people's day is his only talent. The golem wipes the floor with Jade while Slay stands there like a smug, useless trash heap pretending he did something impressive. Alina's home is destroyed, and she snaps. She switches to executioner mode and smashes the golem into rubble, nearly deleting that pest of a wannabe tough guy in the process. The guild master, Glenn, arrives and uses time manipulation skills to mark the battle site. Later, Jade helps Alina with her guild duties and learns that the relic she shattered contained a hidden quest to defeat every boss in the Chalk Tower. To Alina, this sounds like unpaid overtime in disguise, so she turns it down immediately. Jade decides to investigate the quest himself. Things get more awkward when Layla insists the executioner is a man and gushes about him like she's ready to start a fan club, leaving Alina slightly twitchy. Then Glenn summons her to the guild headquarters, having uncovered her true identity. She instantly blames Jade for the leak and turns colder than his pathetic love life, leaving him crushed. Lo and Lulu Lee put 2 and 2 together and realize he actually likes her, which shocks them more than most dungeon bosses. Glenn, skipping diplomacy entirely, challenges Alina to a duel. Glenn sets the duel's terms. If he wins, Alina joins Silver Sword. If she wins, her identity stays under wraps. The fight starts and Glenn freezes time, expecting an easy win. But Alina is completely unaffected, standing there. Realizing he's hopeless, Glenn admits defeat. She reminds him of his promise to leave her alone, but he immediately drops the location of the Chalk Tower dungeon, proving he's a promise-breaking clown. This makes her mood change instantly, since a new dungeon means more overtime. Seeing her hatred for extra work, Glenn offers to hire more receptionists if she helps in defeating the tower. Alina reluctantly agrees and moves into Silver Sword headquarters, now sharing space with Jade, Lulu Lee, and Lo. Inside the Chalk Tower, they meet Rufus, a pathetic, wannabe tough guy adventurer with a chip on his shoulder the size of the dungeon. His teammates are dead, and he's raging that a human-like monster with a Dia skill, like hers, killed them. He has no clue she's the executioner. Glenn considers sealing the dungeon, but Rufus plays politics, threatening to spread a story that the executioner is the monster unless they kick her out, beat the tower, and hand over the dungeon relic. Jade, backed into a corner, tells Alina she's out of Silver Sword. She's clearly not happy, and that night she dreams of Shroud, a childhood friend and adventurer who promised to return but didn't. Meanwhile, Silver Sword confronts the human-shaped monster, who reveals himself as the dark god Silha. Rufus shows his true clown colors and traps Jade, Lo, and Lululi. This trash can confesses that he killed his own party to awaken Silha, and he kicked Alina out just to stop her from interfering so he could trade their souls for a Dia skill. Silha, unimpressed, eats the useless loser's soul instead, freeing Silver Sword, and then turns his attention to making them the next snack. Scylla reveals his stash of Dia skills, including one that can steal abilities from others. Lululi's healing skill is gone before she can blink. Jade challenges Scylla to a duel, buying time for his team to escape, but a monster blocks their way. A relic once gifted to Alina delivers a warning. Jade is inches from death. Memories of everything he loves about her fill his mind. At the entrance, guards try to block Alina. She summons her massive hammer in front of them, basically telling the useless idiots on security detail to take the day off, and storms inside. On the way, she rescues Silver Sword, only to find Jade looking lifeless. Rage takes over, and she smashes Scylla with a blow so strong it wipes the smug right off his pathetic face. The hit she takes in return nearly ends her, but Jade, pulling a low-budget Undertaker move, reveals he was just pretending to be dead and jumps in to save her. Scylla confesses that he killed the ancient humans and devoured their souls to make sure no one could surpass him, proving he's a cowardly piece of trash. Alina, holding on to her belief that all adventurers should return home alive, mainly so she doesn't have to file extra death reports, unleashes a golden flame, and her next strike ends the pathetic loser in a single blow, giving him no time to recover. With his last words, the idiot warns that another dark god will eventually rise. With Scylla gone, Lululi regains her healing and revives her teammates. Alina, now fully exposed as the executioner, worries she'll lose her job, but Glenn covers it up and orders the guards to keep quiet, probably the smartest thing those clowns have done all year. Life slides back into routine, and Alina returns to her desk. Jade feels a quiet joy when she lets him help with paperwork, even though it's clearly just so she can clock out on time. The festival approaches, and Alina explains that the guild offers extra rewards for quests during this time. The higher pay draws in useless adventurers like moths to a lantern, guaranteeing she won't escape overtime. Lululi takes a quiet moment to thank Alina for saving them from crap god Silha, then leaves, unaware that a man with an eye patch is watching her from the shadows like some budget-tier anime stalker. Layla assumes Alina is excited because the festival is popular with couples, only to be floored when Alina casually admits she's going alone. The adventurers begin flooding the guild earlier than expected, burying Alina and Layla in work. Meanwhile, Silver Sword trains their reckless idiot of a new swordsman, Sybil, and when Sybil gets injured, Lululi suffers a sudden panic attack, as she is still haunted by the memory of that pathetic loser Scylla. Alina barges in as the executioner, unintentionally scaring Sybil into quitting so he can grow stronger, which in adventurer terms usually means vanishing like a coward until the plot needs him again. She demands to know why the guild is packed ahead of schedule. Glenn explains there's a rumor that one of the guild's secret quests will reward a relic with a Dia skill, though they're trying to deny it. Later, Jade asks Lululi about her panic attack, but she brushes it off as nerves from using a new magic staff. Lo reveals he and Jade repaired her original staff after Scylla destroyed it. Glenn concludes that some pathetic idiot intentionally spread the rumor to lure adventurers into new dungeons, hoping to use them as sacrifices for reviving another dark god. Jade offers to help Alina with her mountain of work, but only if she agrees to go to the festival with him. Faced with endless paperwork and her eternal nemesis, over time, she accepts. Alina and Silver Sword disguise themselves as beginner adventurers and head to the area where the rumor is most common. They stop to rest by a lake, where a party led by a man named Heights approaches. He repeats the story about relics granting Dia skills, but Silver Sword and Alina drop the disguises. Alina loses her patience, sending pathetic rumor spreader Heights and most of his cowardly loser group fleeing. Only the man with the eye patch stays behind. Lululi recognizes him as Aiden, a former teammate who accuses her of killing their old party. Alina steps in and beats the idiot down, delivering the fastest lesson learned in guild history. Jade exposes Heights as the useless source of rumor. Layla, meanwhile, is over the moon seeing Jade's obvious interest in Alina. The guild council expresses curiosity about the executioner, but Glenn shuts them down, keeping her identity secret. Later, Lululi opens up to Lo about her first team. A boss monster had fatally wounded everyone, and with little experience, she tried to heal them all at once. Her magic fell short, and everyone died except Aiden. Meanwhile, Jade overworks himself in dangerous training to activate multiple skills at once, only to end up sick, proving dedication doesn't cancel being a dumb idiot. Guild researcher Shelley examines Scylla's Dark God core and finds it contains an endless number of Dia skills, unlockable only by devouring souls. She warns that someone else is still spreading rumors. To celebrate, she drags Jade to a bar. After too many drinks, she mistakes him for Shroud before passing out. Jade quietly wonders who Shroud is and why Alina still claims she's waiting for him to return. Glenn is approached by Jessica from the Information Brokers Guild. Jessica offers him a book containing a secret quest. He hides the book deep inside the guild's labyrinth, the archive. The festival kicks off, and Alina attends with Jade. Meanwhile, during the festival, Jade tries to hold Alina's hand, sparking an argument. In the end, she lets him, not out of romance, but because he's been her unpaid overtime shield. Inside prison, Aiden is still blaming Lululi for their party's deaths. He vows to kill her once he gets a Dia skill. Aiden talks like a man who thinks empty threats count as a personality. Lo steps in to defend her, and they leave. Soon after, useless rumor peddler Heights breaks him out. The festival is cut short when a performer attacks the guests. He is one of Heights' men. Alina reacts instantly, putting him down faster than an expired coupon. Meanwhile, Heights slips into the archive, steals the book, and accepts the secret quest, openly daring Silver Sword to stop him. The team mobilizes to prevent another Dark God from rising. Alina, forced to choose between festival fun and a potential apocalypse, picks the apocalypse because her social life was already on life support. They track Heights to a dungeon in the Forest of Eternity. One of his own men kills himself to keep Heights from being captured, rattling wannabe tough guy Aiden. Heights then launches into his tragic villain TED Talk about hating the chaotic skill system that hands out either blessings or dumpster fire abilities, ruining lives. He plans to resurrect a Dark God to burn the whole world down. Before he can even try, the childlike twin Dark Gods, Vienna and Fianna, show up and kill him instantly. Alina jumps in to fight them. Jade quickly realizes both sisters must be destroyed at the same time. He also shows that his dangerous training has given him the ability to block skills with his shield. Vienna and Fianna try to snack on pathetic deadweight Aiden to unlock Dia skills, but Lo drags him to safety because letting him die would be too easy a solution for a man who contributes absolutely nothing but drama. The twins then merge into one being, Vilfina, and curse Alina, leaving her badly wounded. Lululi tries to heal her but fails, and the sisters mock her. They are sure that with the death of Alina, they will get their first Dia skill. Feeling powerless, Lululi pours all her strength into healing Alina again and again. Outside the dungeon, Lo drops Aiden to the ground like the useless baggage he is and warns him to never trouble Lululi again. Though exhausted, Lululi finally heals Alina, and Alina rushes in to save Jade from death. Enraged that she is still alive, the sisters merge into Vilfina once more. Golden flames burst around Alina as she strikes, destroying the merged form in a single blow. Since both sisters share the same body, they are eliminated at the same time, ending them for good. Lululi feels relief, having finally saved someone, and the weight of her guilt begins to fade. Alina returns to the festival and tells Jade about Shroud, reminding him he is not allowed to die. Adventurers praise Alina as their favorite receptionist, but she soon realizes this is why her workload is so heavy. They ignore the other receptionists and dump everything on her desk like the lazy idiots they are. She snaps and shouts at them about her overtime. The festival closes with Soul's Rest, a tradition where lanterns are released into the night sky to honor fallen adventurers. Watching the lights drift upward, Alina realizes she has not felt lonely in a long time because chaos and idiots keep her calendar fully booked. Glenn announces a special reward for receptionists. Anyone who finds a way to reduce overtime for everyone will get a holiday on their birthday. Soon word spreads about a training course run by Rosetta Rubery, the legend who basically invented the modern receptionist profession. Determined to learn Rosetta's mythical paperwork speed, Alina joins Silver Sword on another dungeon run before the training begins. Jade also decides to attend, keeping his distance in hopes of impressing her. Glenn thanks Alina for defeating Vilfina, but she fires back, demanding to know why he still hasn't hired the extra receptionists he promised, proving she can swing a hammer and a guilt trip with equal force. During the training, Jade gives a speech to the receptionists, and Alina feels a flicker of respect when he manages not to embarrass her. For the course, the receptionists move into the guild's training hall, a place rumored to be haunted. Alina warns Lulu to keep her secret, while Lulu suspects Alina actually misses Jade, a theory Alina swats away like it's bad fanfiction written by an idiot. Meanwhile, Jade starts wondering how useless rumor spreader Heights got into the archive and concludes there's a traitor in the guild. When Alina meets Rosetta, she begs for advice on avoiding overtime. Rosetta's wisdom? Treat overtime not as work, but as a joyful duty that helps adventurers. With this mindset, she says, any receptionist can handle 100 hours of overtime a month. That is when Alina realizes Rosetta isn't a savior, she's the final boss of workaholics. Alina's thoughts drift to Jade, impressed that he's managed to avoid calling her by name during training, which for him counts as Olympic-level self-control for a lovable idiot. Jade, however, is dealing with a court of inquiry, doubting he's worthy of Silversword's legacy. Glenn, the former leader whose daughter Lynn was killed, wants Jade to become the next guildmaster. Feely, Glenn's secretary, notices Jade suspects Glenn of being the man in black, but assures him Glenn wouldn't, unless it somehow involved Lynn. Alina is then approached by a lecherous guild official with the charm of a moldy towel. Jade swoops in, yanking him away in a burst of jealousy. Alina tells him to go back to being his normal annoying self because she misses having reasons to be irritated at him, which Jade, bless his optimism, takes as a sign she's warming up to him. Even with training still underway, Alina and Layla are buried in paperwork they must finish at night. Jade tells Lo and Lulu he suspects the man in black and the Reaper might be the same person. On the way back, they spot the Reaper and chase him into the training hall, leaving Layla behind. Inside, the Reaper triggers a hidden trap, sending Alina and Silversword plunging into a deep abyss. The Reaper pulls off his mask, and it's Glenn. Alina and Lulu can't believe it. Apparently, the man handing out guild paychecks is also running around in cosplay as the villain like some midlife crisis idiot. They're on a secret floor inside the guild's private labyrinth. Flashback shows that young Glenn was arrogant, selfish, and cruel, basically a walking red flag in boots. The guildmaster at the time dumped an orphan named Lynn on him, hoping it would teach him how to care about someone. Glenn leads them to the labyrinth's boss room, the same place his team, including Lynn, died. He says he can bring them back by reversing time in the room, but he needs the core of a resurrected dark god. He thought it was impossible, until he met Alina. From that moment, he started manipulating her and Silversword, using losers like Rufus and Heights as disposable chess pieces in his grand plan. Alina tells him resurrection is impossible, but Glenn insists he has to tell Lynn he loves her, words he never managed while she was alive. Knowing the core might corrupt him, he even asks Alina to kill him if it does. When he activates it, Alina sees a vision of young Glenn holding Lynn's body, with some unknown man explaining how she could be resurrected. The mutation begins and Glenn twists. He realizes the core can't rewind far enough to save Lynn. In desperation, he lets the core consume him completely and turns his hunger toward Alina and Silversword, proving he's not just a tragic fool, but also a power-hungry loser, hoping to devour them for more power. Jade forms a plan to destroy the core and save what's left of Glenn's humanity, which, at this point, is about as intact as a used tissue. By forcing his skills to activate twice and relying on Lulu's healing to stop his brain from frying, Jade manages to see a fraction of a second into the future, barely dodging Glenn's attacks. Alina ignites her golden flames, making herself immune to his time-stopping trick, and smacks the weapon out of his hands. Glenn tries to bargain, offering to bring back Shroud, but Alina refuses to trade her current friends for the ghost of an old one. Glenn finally realizes his pathetic obsession with reviving Lynn almost erased the memories he had left of her. Alina cuts off his arm, ripping away crap god Scylla's core. Days later, Glenn wakes up furious that he's still alive, because in his idiot mind, dying would somehow make up for betraying the guild. Alina shuts him down, reminding him he's not allowed to die until he hires more receptionists so she can stop drowning in overtime. Jade pushes him for details about the man who told him how to resurrect Lynn, but a curse wipes his memory clean, even the man's face. They figure the mystery loser must have a Dia skill. Alina's plan to cut overtime fails to win the competition, robbing her of the promised birthday holiday. Jade gives her another relic, this one broken, useless, and incapable of warning her if he's in danger. He wants it to remind her of his vow not to die, which is basically just an emotional participation trophy. She accepts it and returns to the guild, only to find her paperwork mountain has grown even bigger. She snaps, throws on her executioner outfit, and storms toward the Civi Cathedral with silver sword to face the boss she blames for her endless unpaid overtime, the kind of DLC nobody asked for. And that's it for today. If you enjoyed this recap, don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and drop your thoughts in the comments. Until next time.